This morning will be a briefing from Dimadal of BOM, and he'll answer questions if you have any after that as well. I'd also like to welcome everyone that's on Zoom. We'll ask for questions, but if you have a question, particularly the Zoom guys, please, if you fill in the question and answer block box on the bottom corner, and we will then bring the question up and get to answer that. And if you're in the room, please wait for the mic. It makes it much easier to record the actual question and give you a response with that. I think straight into it, Hugh, bring changes from Thursday, let us know.
Thanks, Oliver. Morning, everyone. So straight into the weather brief today. So these current conditions that we're seeing across Sydney at 6:20 this morning, you can see we've got wind barbs on here, so we've got 5 to 10 knots through the harbour currently. It's generally out of west-northwest direction. Offshore, that's more of a southerly just now, and we can see a few showers. This is satellite image, you can see the rain right here. A few showers just drifting along the coast offshore in that southerly breeze at the moment. On the wave rider of Sydney, this is the Sydney Boy, we're at 2.8 metres this morning. It's already dropped to about 2.5 now, mostly southerly swell, about 10 seconds or so. By the time you reach the exit to the harbour, about 2 to 2.5 metres, mostly out of the south, with a little bit of wind wave in there as well, but generally it is that swell. So the synoptic picture for the next couple of days, high pressure really is the story throughout the race, really. This is Saturday and Sunday. So that high slowly migrates to the southeast across the coast of New South Wales and out into Tasman. So light southerlies today generally, and then it starts tracking around to a bit more northerly flavour. Some higher res model data I've put in there this morning. So this is our highest resolution model. You can see this picture this morning. Westerlies generally 5 to 10 knots. This is at 10 o'clock this morning, so in a couple of hours' time. And then that's go around to a bit more of a southwesterly or west-southwesterly as you head out of the harbour and offshore. By the time the race starts, it's all getting a little bit lighter and things are easing off, unfortunately. But still, we've got those southerlies, generally around 5 to 10 knots offshore. I'll show you something in a bit more detail in a minute. There is potential, maybe seeing 10 to 15 knots a little bit further up the coast, but it's these lighter things really. Weather's clear, generally might be a couple of showers still remaining, but mostly clear out there. So this is the high resolution. You can see on here at the race start. You kind of got west-southwesterlies through the harbour, maybe starting to come around a bit more southerly. And then offshore, you've got these 5 to 10 knots out of the southwest. There is some hints as you get a bit further up the coast, maybe just picking up a little bit of a stronger wind out of that southwesterly direction. But there's not a lot there, and things are easing as we go into the evening as well. So this is the evening picture. This is at 4 p.m. You can still see there's kind of this southwesterly, southerly, just across the Sydney to Hunter coast, and then it's tracking around to more of a southerly or south-southeasterly as you go further up the east coast. The high resolution picture here, you can see it all gets a little bit lighter variable as you go further offshore, but there is this little band here where there's potentially a little bit of convergence of maybe seeing these 5 to 10, and perhaps if you're a bit further up towards Newcastle, there might be some 15s in there, but it's generally that 5 to 10 knot flavour out of the southwest. Slight to medium chance of seeing a shower. The seas are generally easing as well by this point. We're starting to see 1.5 to 2 metres, and that southerly swell is just going to keep easing down because we lost the southerly change that drove it this morning and yesterday. So that southerly swell is going to be easing. There's not going to be much wind wave either over the top of it. Overnight into Sunday morning, so this is 1 a.m. and we can see those winds are starting to track around to a more northerly direction. Yeah, not much strength, 5 to 10 knots, generally from sort of Newcastle down towards Sydney. It's stronger further south, but it's all getting a little bit lighter variable as you go further north of the Hunter. Slight to medium chance of showers. Generally further up the coast, things are probably going to be dying out around the Hunter coast and Sydney coast, those showers dying out. And that swell, generally fairly similar, but easing a little bit further to around 1.5 meters. Not much wind wave. High resolution picture, you can see that as well. It's all getting pretty light variable. We're starting to pick up a bit of a land breeze along the coast as well. We might start seeing a little bit of a westerly, 5 to 10 knots along the coast as we start picking up that land breeze. So by the morning, that northerly is starting to settle in a little bit more. It's the land breeze up the coast towards Coffs, a bit more northerly as you come down the Hunter Way, and it's all getting quite light. Easterlies further up the coast, it's all around 5 to 10 knots. Not much strength in that wind. The waves generally around 1.5 meters, but that swell starting to be a little bit better. So by the afternoon, yeah, it's all coming around to a bit more of a northerly direction. All the winds are starting to pick up a little bit further south. We've got 5 to 10, maybe 15 knots down to the south of locally, 20 knots if you're south of the Hunter. Further up the coast, it's east northeasterlies, 5 to 10 knots generally, maybe out towards Gold Coast. I don't know, not where you're going to be, but maybe it's starting to see some 15s up there. Around 1.5 meters still of those waves. Starting to pick up a bit more of a wind wave in there as that swell's easing away further, and the period's starting to drop, starting to get a shorter period in there as well, get a bit more choppy. Overnight into Sunday, 10 to 15 knots out of the north to northeast. It's a little bit stronger if you're further offshore or further south, 15 to 20 generally down there, 10 to 15 knots. Starting, if you're along the coast, there is hints of a bit of a land breeze again, so it might be a bit more northwesterly direction, closer to the coast. But yeah. For the MSLP on Monday, it's worth pointing out there's this next trough is starting to move into the high through here. That trough, just keep an eye on that. There is a chance of your thunderstorm on that trough. It's generally going to be further offshore, so if you're in close to the coast, probably not going to see any thunderstorms. But there might be the odd flash of lightning a little bit further out offshore, and a few showers around as well. Not looking like severe storms and not looking like particularly gusty storms if you do see any thunderstorms. But just the odd flash of lightning here and there. We can see that on the model comparison that it's generally pretty confident in all the major models that we're seeing a bit of a trough moving into that high and that sort of northerly, northwesterly sort of pressure gradients all along the coast of the south. So here's the winds, northerlies, generally 10 to 15 knots, 15 to 20 in the south, and that is pretty much what you're going to see for Monday. There's medium to high chance of those showers, like I said, perhaps isolated thunderstorms, generally further offshore. By the afternoon, it's a similar picture really. It maybe starts going a little bit northwesterly further south, up towards the north. We've got those northerly winds, 10 to 15 knots, 5 to 10 closer to the coast. Tuesday, so that trough is starting to clear. We've got the high building another sensor over the coast. In the morning, there might be a few showers around, still a chance of the odd thunderstorm, but generally further offshore is starting to clear away. We'll just keep an eye on that one. So we can see the high sensor in those models there. The JMA is not come in yet when I did this brief, but there is maybe a little bit of a bonus with this high developing another sensor, is that we might see a bit more southerly, so things perhaps improving a little bit. There's not a lot of strength in the wind, but 5 to 10 knots. There are some hints of 15 knots at times through the day. And we've generally got these southerly winds or westerly winds further south. Throughout the day, from about 7 AM, it starts going west-southwest, westerly, and then this southerly to southwesterly further up the coast, and stays that way until about 7 PM on Tuesday before things start changing a bit. And like I said, slight chance of those showers, generally in the morning, medium to high chance of them clearing away. Not much of the way, 1 to 1.5 meters, generally short period, around 7 seconds coming out of the east on Tuesday. Wednesday, high pressure, that ridge is firmly across the Gold Coast, and the northerlies are back further south. We're starting to see that northwesterly pressure gradient building again. And it looks like this on the winds for the day. This is Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, that's something. Wednesday afternoon winds are similar to this. We do have northerlies back in on Wednesday afternoon. Apologies, that's got the wrong image on there. Very similar to that, we're looking at around 5 to 10 knots along the coast. It could be a little bit stronger just offshore. Normally the winds generally maybe 15 knots a bit further offshore, but 5 to 10 along the coast. Similar in wave heights, around metre to metre and a half, perhaps easing closer to a metre, generally quite short period with wave driven stuff. So the Gold Coast forecast, a couple of days of rain, Monday generally a few showers, Tuesday a few showers in the morning, but clearing that trough moving away. By Wednesday, clearer skies and more pleasant weather. So for currents, this is the sea surface temperatures with current overlaid on it. There's no difference in the temperatures. We just use a different gradient colour for Queensland and New South Wales. It's generally 18s to 19s off the New South Wales coast. You've got 20s to 21s off the Queensland coast. You can get those available at that web page there. And then this is the current with the speed on it as well. So you can see there's a bit of northerly current down the Sydney coast, but quite a little way offshore. And it's generally northerlies all the way up. If you're closer to the coast, there's not so much influence for that current. Tides, so new moon, we're looking at morning highs, late morning highs, late afternoon lows, and late evening highs again. So just to summarise, it's generally sunny and settled and pretty cool for Sydney this morning, maximum of only 16 degrees today. And then we've got southerly winds to start, southwesterly, but they're easing and they're tending east north, mostly light to moderate, but perhaps pressure in the south at times. The south swell out there up to about 2.5 metres, but it is easing and it's trending to that short period, so we might driven next later on. Through the days as they go. There are isolated thunderstorms possible on Monday and Tuesday, generally further offshore though. If you're close to the coast, less likely to see those. A few showers around.
Thank you so much, Hugh. Second verse is the same as the first almost, isn't it? This is for the housekeeping. A number of people have not yet received their nav bags. They are Cicero, Mako, Moneypenny, Coram, Patrice 6, Popeye, Rum Rebellion, and Wonderland. If you can see Tara after the end of this and collect your nav bag, please. A little aside, if you are out there at midnight on your deck, the next 3 nights, they're going to be very significant meteor showers. All 3 nights, around about midnight for 30 minutes if you've got nothing to do. Look out. Guys, have a great rest. We'll see you in Southport. Good luck. Bye.